logo design and moving on. Okay, where we left off, we were hanging here on our anchors with the intent of outlining this W exactly the way we have it here. So let's do that. Okay, now we're going to completely outline the whole thing. And what I have is I didn't shut off my fill. So some of you following along like this might have a little bit of difficulty following your lines, but just look what's ahead. Keep in track with that and just remember to follow it how you like it. You can bring it on back, bring it on down, and now that's kind of a little guesswork there, but that always works. And what I should have inevitably done is I should have removed my fill and maybe just worked with an outline, but I can do that with another letter because right now I just want to show you on how we get that. And you see the last click I did right there would complete the W, giving it quite a interesting and cool shape, as you can see. And remember, at any time you can always pick green out of the leaf we've done over here, which we're just going to group like that. And let's lock that. And we're going to be working on a new layer for the A. As you can see, I've added this stroke to this W. Now, let's take its fill, get rid of it, just so we can work off of a stroke so you can see exactly where it's being traced. And let's zoom in a little more here. Now, with my pen tool selected, we start in on here. There. And we're outlining our special font for our logo text. Wasp Away being the company, and rebranding is what we're talking about. A new client eco-friendly version. Now, because I made this, I can trace it any way I want. I don't have to follow that. I can do whatever feels good for me because I'm creating it. And as you can see the outline, we can now change the fill just by using the eyedropper and dropping it on some green. Now, our A is missing a space, which I'm going to show you the Pathfinder. So the Pathfinder is going to be taking two objects, one being the A, and now one that we're going to be drawing with our pen tool. And you're going to want to see what you're doing. I would just draw a rectangle, but let's just be technical about it. So let's for a second get rid of our fill on the A so we can see what we're doing. And then you'll notice this space here. So if I just want to take my pen tool, I don't want my A highlighted, but if I take my pen tool because I'm creating a new object and I just go in here and here, and let's say it just has a little nick or a nick here and then up. Okay, so it's not a perfect triangle. And then I'm going to take the stroke off that. I'm going to add a fill to that of whatever color I want, because let's just make it stand out, is because now we're taking the two objects which we're now giving our A back its fill. And this is now one object in the front. This is one object in the back. Now I want to use this object to cut out this object. And it's when cutting out a vector, it'll go like this. If you shift select both of them, go to your Pathfinders, and you'll be given some, you can unite them, you can minus the front, you can intersect and you can exclude, but we're going to use minus front. So we're taking the front and we're minusing it from what is behind it. Boom, there it cuts it out just like that. Take both objects here. As you can see, they're right here, and we can just call it A. Now I quickly want to draw out this SMP just to make sure you have a really good idea on how to do this. And of course, this is nothing but a pen drawing I did on a piece of lined paper that I'm using. And I could have very well have sat there with my pencil crayons and markers and pens and done something really out of this world as far as lettering goes. And then, of course, imported it in and done this same exact technique. Or I could come in and just freehand it. Just look at that S and then just kind of, I don't know, maybe go with my own sort of S and do what I wanted. But anyway, you sort of get the idea of when you import it and put it in here and start working on it, nothing in turn is written in stone, because you always have the ability to change it up and make it different how you envision it. So we're going to keep along with that, and in fact I'll just do the S really quick and then we'll have that finished and we can move on. But this is just nothing more than the pen tool, and if you don't need a guideline, you can keep your fill going, or you can remove your fill so you can see actually what's underneath, because everything's being filled up. Which right here, hey, I can kind of leave myself out there and just turn the fill off and then continue on. So that helps. And you can also see that we have that same area here that we're going to need to cut out. So going off the S, grabbing the pen tool again, creating another object around it, like so, giving that a fill of, it doesn't really matter what we give it, but this is so we can see it. And then going back to the S, we want to give that a fill back to its original green, taking the two objects, shift, and then going up to your Pathfinder and cutting it out. And while you're here, right click, and you click on here. We've already got them grouped up automatically, so we're good to go on that. Perfect. And this will be done and we'll carry on to another thing. And yay for having completed logos. Okay, there we go. We've got all the font dealt with here. Let's just hide the layer and hide the layer just so you can see the original design on how it was. And then what we can do is we can just take that and we can delete it right out of there. Just save the original little drawing in the portfolio books or whatever it may be. Then you can unhide your layers here. And let's just zoom out to 100 and have a look at what we've got going on so far. You can take your pointer and unlock that. But if I take everything here and group it up, then I can move it on around, and we're also going to take our leaf and get that out of the way here. Now we have something to look at for our text. Now let's take this time to open up another artboard or create another artboard, new artboard. And let's just name this artboard. We can name it Wasp. And we'll call it Waspy because apparently that's the client's idea for this character. Kind of a scared waspy running away from some insecticide that's going to kill him. But we're not going to make it look like that. We're just simply going to do a caricature of a wasp and see where it goes from there. So maybe freehand, we can start using our Eclipse tool, because what we do know is that wasps have round heads. So we'll just start with a simple eclipse and maybe take it from there. And if we wanted to add some eyes, and always remember, you can just copy, paste, and then you have the option to be duplicating the things, and you can see how it runs on its paths. You'll notice when it turns pink, that means they're perfectly aligned like that, which works for us because we're just going to construct a wireframe of, let's say, a face. Now, I initially want to go with a wasp running away, but we'll just do a simple caricature of its face because maybe the simple caricature design will add to it. But who knows? We can take it from there. Have trouble remembering what a wasp's face looks like? Hey, no problem. Google Images. And as you can see, they're pretty gross. We don't want to go that far. We want basically, we want them to look friendly, but at least this gives us kind of an idea of what we're up against. And if we can take that from memory a little bit, then maybe we can make something plain and simple that won't scare people off, because we want to go for a friendlier, eco-friendly look on these. Now, because I want to get us to the point where we've got something to work at, and I am going to freehand this, so I'm not going to be very technical. What we know is we're grouping our objects, we're copying our objects, and we are pasting our objects. And from that point, I can go and rotate it in the other direction, and then I can take them and drag them down into position and line them up accordingly with the other one on the other side, because we're not going to get out of control here. We just want to get a basic clean design of a wasp to how best we can get it using those colors. Eco-friendly wasp here. Now, as you can see, I've added a picture of the wasp to give us more of a visual of what we're going to be working with here, just so we can carve out a basic design of the wasp's head to use within our logo. Now, the next section, we're going to get deep into carving that out and make it something good to add to our other elements, and then we can start placing them on products, see how they look. So this is concept 1, new company rebranding design. Now, to this point, let's do a quick rundown of Section 9, Section 10 on what we've covered here. Now, we have our eco-friendly leaf, which is one object. The green we picked specifically out of a picture that we imported into Illustrator. We used that green to complement our logo text, and this, of course, is custom logo text we designed using the pen tool, and we traced over a text object we made on a pen and paper. From that point, we've gone on to the mascot aspect of our logo and our new eco-friendly logo, which is going to be a wasp's head. We're using the Eclipse tools because I think we want just a rounded, nice character of somewhat of a friendly wasp's head. And that pretty much gives us a rundown of the first two sections here. Now we have a fill of green. We also have a stroke of black. And your properties for this are located up here, so you can see that your stroke points, your uniformed lines, opacity, and everything else can be accessed from this panel to change what you would like. For example, if I'd like to increase the stroke, I simply increase it. Let's make it 1 point. Let's go further. We can also make that 7 points and make it huge. That gives you an idea because these are where your properties are located, and by going through them and changing the properties, it gives you a different look of what you're working with. In the next section, we're going to continue on. We're going to finish off our mascot's head and then go more in depth to product placement.